First at 4, body cam video shows police rushing a baby that stopped breathing to the hospital. Now that decision raised some questions, how police are responding today. Also, the battle over this Van Gogh painting has come to an end. What we've learned and what we may never know. Here's Kim Adams.
Well, a live look at downtown Ann Arbor, and it is a beautiful afternoon and mild with temperatures in the mid to even upper 50s. But rain's on the way. I'll talk about that in the forecast.
We might be heading down, but I'm going to be talking about women moving up, putting their money where their mouth is, and creating equitable spaces for women everywhere.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, the Warren Police Department is defending its protocols after the death of a 4-month-old baby over the weekend. EMS sources raised questions to Local 4 about a police decision to bring the child to the hospital without waiting for an ambulance to arrive. Saturday, officers responded to a report the little girl wasn't breathing and say they got the baby to the hospital within 4 minutes. Today, police released body cam showing an officer giving the baby compressions every step of the way. Police Commissioner Bill Dwyer defended his officers and addressed any friction with the fire department.
It's really a partnership with police and fire, and we're going to mend any problems we have currently with the fire department. The officers did nothing wrong and utilized their training, their experience, and common sense to get the child to the hospital as quickly as possible.
Dwyer said there's no internal investigation facing the officers, but there is a death investigation looking into how the baby died. We'll keep you posted as they release more information. Now remember the legal battle over this Van Gogh painting? Well, it is now over after a settlement has been reached. The painting, called The Novel Reader, was at the DIA for a special exhibition when this dispute broke out. Broker at Capitol claimed it bought the painting for $3.7 million back in 2017 and then lent it to a third party who then ran off with it. The DIA was caught in the middle, but hasn't publicly offered details on how it borrowed the masterpiece. Right now, we don't know the status of the painting since the terms of the deal are confidential. Berkeley police are investigating the crash of an SUV that left a local store facing a big repair job. The Department of Public Safety sent photos to Local 4 of the accident at the Cotton and Things shop over on 12 Mile in Greenfield. What a mess. 12 Mile was closed for a short time while police surveyed the scene and crews cleaned up. The driver was taken to the hospital. So far, no word on his or her condition or any possible charges. Whew. Well, if you're concerned about power outages in Michigan, you definitely will have a chance to attend a virtual town hall, and that happens in just a few hours. The Michigan Public Service Commission has been holding meetings around the state. Tonight's will be live streamed over Microsoft Teams. The town hall is scheduled to run from 6 to 8 p.m. We posted more information and we'll help you find the link on our website at clickondetroit.com. In the first forecast, temperatures are on the rise. We could get back to the 60s at some point this week, but let's focus on the here and now. Meteorologist Kim Adams is standing by. Another gorgeous one.
It is. It's a nice afternoon, although you might have noticed the clouds have been increasing as we've gone throughout the rest of the day. We've got a little rain expected overnight tonight, but right now enjoy this evening. 55 at Metro and City Airport, 52 in Pontiac, 51 in Mount Clemens. It's just a little warmer than it was yesterday by about 6 degrees in Ann Arbor and Metro, 4 degrees in Pontiac, and 3 degrees warmer in Mount Clemens. Our My Pick of the Day comes from Emily Beth in Dearborn Heights. A beautiful sunrise this morning. Now tomorrow morning it's going to be a little bit more cloudy and also a chance for a few light rain showers, but the heaviest rain comes tomorrow night and Thursday as highs tomorrow get back into the 50s. I'll have more on the future forecast coming up.
Right, thank you, Kim. Right now, it looks like former President Donald Trump's prediction that he would be arrested today is not panning out. Now, as far as we know, there's no word on charges, no arrest warrant, and Trump remains in Florida. So what is next? Let's bring in Kimberly Gill from the Local 4 newsroom. And Kim, the former president fired up all the speculation.
Karen, good afternoon. Yes, the former president posted on social media over the weekend his prediction that he'd be arrested. He was also critical of the investigation and called for protests. So far, as you said, we haven't seen any widespread demonstrations, but Trump supporters have turned up outside his home in Florida. Security precautions are being taken in key locations just in case he's indicted at some point in the future. Right now, there's no indication, though, that will happen today. The grand jury in New York is not even in session, but will meet again tomorrow. It's investigating 2020 campaign money allegedly being used to keep adult film star Stormy Daniels quiet about an alleged affair with former President Trump. This was long before he ran for president. He denies any affair and any wrongdoing. Yesterday, the grand jury heard from a Trump supporter who's attacked the credibility of attorney Michael Cohen, who admitted he oversaw the payment to Daniels on former President Trump's behalf. This morning, Manhattan court business was temporarily halted after a bomb threat was called in, even though, again, the grand jury was not meeting. Officials are monitoring online chatter about any further threats, and security has been tightened. So for now, we wait to see what happens. Karen, this is one of the stories we'll be following tonight. So please join us for Local 4 News at 5. For now, Karen, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Well, the balancing act facing the Federal Reserve is only getting more and more complicated, especially after some new trouble in the banking system. We are expecting a new decision tomorrow on interest rates. Everyone's wondering if the Fed will keep pushing them higher. Regulators are trying to bring inflation down without throwing the economy into a recession. But higher interest rates have hurt the values of treasuries and other securities, which are critical for most U.S. banks. Tomorrow, we will bring you the Fed's decision and any new hints about what comes next. Equal pay for equal play. It is a catchy slogan, but it's been really challenging to turn the phrase into reality. With all eyes on men's and women's March Madness, some women business leaders are brainstorming about ways to level the playing field. Paula Tubman reports from Ford Field, where an important summit is about to get underway.
You know, getting to the top is still one heck of a climb, particularly for women. Here at Ford Field today, a huge, gigunda conference. AdCraft's Detroit Women's Leadership Summit, where this vibe, this space is going to be filled with people not just talking about getting women at par, getting them equity, but showing how they're putting their money where their mouth is. How do you brand success, market it, and then sell it? The Leadership Summit, happening at Ford Field, has a marquee of women to discuss ideas in meaningful ways, and Steve Nitzo is literally there for it.
I think it's about time that we all, stand behind this, because this needed to happen probably about 200 years ago, maybe.
And Andrea Brimmer is doing it, Chief Marketing and PR Officer at Ally Financial. She's got a message she wants out there in the ecosphere.
Brands need to do the work.
And she's putting money behind that message, starting with athletics. An athlete in her own right, now in a leadership position, in a position to allocate funds, launching the marketing industry's first ever 50-50 pledge to send equal amounts of ad spend to women's sports as is spent in men's sports. When Brimmer rolls up her sleeve to get to work, she literally has her skin in the game. Oh, and by the way, yay on women getting to the big stage for March Madness, but more needs to be done.
I think women's sports need their own time slots. They need their own big stages. We started a campaign last year called the Primetime-ification of Women's Sports, where we actually got the championship game of the National Women's Soccer League moved to primetime.
Professor Janelle Townsend is with Oakland University.
Companies are coming on and realizing, hey, women are the bulk of the spending power. In many situations, most households, ultimately the women are going to make the choices. And so companies have to come along and understand that.
And Ashley Stone is the Associate Director for the Student Athletic Experience at OU.
The organizations who invest in women and have women in their senior staff and executive suite, they actually produce 15% better results. And I think that's because women bring a completely different perspective to that workplace.
So why is it even important to still talk about this? Well, check your calendars. Exactly a week ago today was Pay Equity Day. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, women have to work an additional 80 days to make the same amount as men, doing pretty much the same job in the same way. Paula Tubman, Local 4.
By the way, Andrea Brimmer was on the 2022 Adweek Most Powerful Women in Sports list and has been an early voice for equity in sports and everything else.